This is the voice of Heidie Calero with another interesting economic capsule on the Puerto Rico economy. Don't forget, those of you who have recommendations on topics of interest to you, give us a little note or give us a like in those capsules that you really like in YouTube. Today we are going to talk about demographics, COVID-19, and the labor market in Puerto Rico. And this graph will depict what is happening with birth rates as well as fertility rates. And this goes from 1950 through 2021. Births per 1,000 people, which is the birth rate, is the purple line, and the red line is births per woman. In 1950, there were 39 births per 1,000 persons. Today, as of 2021, there is only 7 per 1,000 persons. In 1950, women had 5 children on average. There were families that were bigger, even 10 children. But now, it's only 1 child per woman. Of course, all this industrialization, modernization, being more conscious about how you are going to raise your child, what type of job do you have the income necessary? Well, it all depends on where on the income level that you are and on your age group. There are some women who are on the younger age groups, and then they get pregnant and they have children and they are dependent more on welfare. But there are others who are the career women, who are in the middle income class, that are more conscious, and of course they are reducing the number of children that they can responsibly raise. But this has enormous ramifications for the working age population. That's the 16-year plus age group through more 60, and now it seems that retirement age could be 70. That's the new retirement age. Well, in June 2019, Puerto Rico had sort of made that recovery, and the working age population was the highest. Employment was also coming back to normality after the havoc of Hurricane Maria. But yet, using that as an index, we notice that in men it's about 99, which means that we have not returned to the level of June 2019. And for women, it's 98. So they are still below the June 2019. We have not yet recovered, and this working age population has continued to decline. The labor market force is the employees plus the unemployed, and this group also making the same index of June 2019 through March of 2021. Notice that for women, they are closer to the June 2019 index with 99, but the men are below in 95 as an index of June 2019. So it seems that women are sort of making more comeback in terms of that participation or that labor market force. But the real crux is, what is their labor participation rate? And this is shown here, not as an index, but as the true computation, which is the labor market force, employed plus unemployed, divided by that working age population. And notice that it's total, it was 42% in June 2019, and as of March of 2021, it's 41% overall in Puerto Rico. That means 59% of that working age population is not participating in the labor force. It's not looking for a job, maybe participating in the underground economy, who knows? But one thing is certain, if the economy of Puerto Rico is to make really a comeback, we have to address the low labor participation rates that we have. In the States, it's about 68, 69%. In other countries, the same. But here in Puerto Rico, it has been languishing at 40%. And we must change that conundrum and make it at least 65%. Notice that labor participation for men, it's 49%. They have not returned yet to 51% as of June 2019, so they're still below. But women, even though they have a low labor participation rate, 34%, Well, it was the same as in June of 2019. So they have made more slowly but steadily. They have come back in terms of that participation rate. And again, remember, it's women who stay at home, who with this COVID pandemic have been taking care of children, making sure that they are at least learning. This remote learning is very difficult. And some of these women who have had to return to the labor force, to their jobs, then they have to rely on their parents. And parents not necessarily, grandparents not necessarily are either technologically up to date or have the discipline. After all, as grandparents, we are to spoil children. We are not to discipline them. We leave that to the parents. So that brings me to this age group. And you have repercussions of all of this. You think it's not going to affect you? It will affect you. Notice, this is the population by age group in 2010, and the brown side that you see here, the 0 to 14 age group up to the 60 plus age group. And notice here, this is the 2019, it's not yet the 2020, which is not available. But all these groups, the 0 to 14, the 15 to 24, which is the population, the working age population, it's declining. Which is the group that is growing? 60 plus. So it's this group that's going to bear the brunt of Social Security if it's not there, and if they haven't done any financial planning. Who's going to pay taxes, income tax, going to pay property tax, the sales and use tax, all that. Who's going to be paying for the hikes in essential services? Who needs transportation? Who needs medical care? Who needs assisted living? It's a whole horizon of things, different consumption patterns. So Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico is not alone. If I didn't tell you before, but even if we compare the birth rates in the States, it's about 12 per thousand. Here in Puerto Rico, it's 7 per 1,000. In the States, at least, women are having almost 1.8, almost 2 children, 2 births per woman. Here in Puerto Rico, it's 1. Do you know which is the country that has the highest level in terms of birth rates as well as fertility rate? Guess who? Israel. Israel has 19.5 births per 1,000 compared to our 7, and compared to the 12 of the US. And in fertility rates, Israel has, the women have 3 births, 3 children per woman, compared to 1 in Puerto Rico, and even almost 2 for the US. So it's interesting, all this horizon. Think again. Do strategic and financial planning, because you as a group are going to need it. All this is affecting you. Stay safe until the next capsule. Thank you.